Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about category enforcement. So in Cat C races that I'm in just now, as you can see from my Zwift Power profile, I'm averaging 3.4, 3.4, 3.4, there is a 3.6 down there for a shorter race, doesn't have a 20-minute power. But there's been instances at the end of these races where other competitors have said, well, you shouldn't be in Cat C, you should be a Cat B rider. And if you base it purely on the categorization that's shown on Zwift, as you can see here, then they might have an argument. It says here in plain sight 2.5 to 3.19 watts per kilogram is a Cat C. And it doesn't let me go into Cat D, so Cat C is the only one I can pick. So from doing a little bit of digging and in full disclosure, we have found what Zwift uses to categorize each rider. So in the text we can see that they use the higher value against their categories of either the Z map or the ZFTP, which Zwift calculates from 90 days of riding up to that point. So in here it says in order to be moved up to pace category B, my Z map would have to be greater than or equal to 4.1 watts per kilogram, and my ZFTP would have to be greater than 3.36 watts per kilogram, so not the 3.2 that it says on the Zwift events pages, and I think that causes a little bit of confusion for people. So at the moment, my fitness, as I've shown, is straight out of Zwift. My ZFTP is 259, my Z map is 296 watts, and my weight is 79 kilos. And based on those numbers, we can see here what each of my calculations comes out at. So I'm 3.75 on my map per kilo. So I am in between B and C, so I'm sitting in C for that. I mean, it's greater than, but not greater than 4.1, but it's currently greater than 3.2, so it's sitting there. On my ZFTP, I sit at 3.28, which is much closer to what Group B is, and that's probably going to be the one that tips me over the edge eventually. It's currently 3.28 and it needs to be 3.36 or higher to then be enforced into Category B. My FTP itself is slightly irrelevant, it's higher than the Category A minimum, so it's not relevant for this discussion. So what will it take for me to go up to Cat B based on this calculation? So it will either be a reduction in my weight down to 77 kilos. When I go to 77 kilos, that would give me my just over 3.6 and would bump me up. I'm not, and I might lose weight, but I don't think I'll lose it instantly. If my FTP was to change, that would also bump up. So if my FTP went to 275, it would be well over. So let's try 260, 265. So at 266 it looks like I'm going to jump over that threshold and would be a Cat B rider. So that is only 7 watts, so that could easily happen at any moment. So that won't take a huge amount. So I am very much top end of Cat C, but I think it is a little bit misleading for people when they look at what is on each event page and it's 3.2. It's actually 3.36 before somebody is moved into the next category, and just riding a couple of races at 3.4 isn't going to get me up to that 3.36 because it takes into consideration the whole of the last 90 days, which, well, everything on this page is in the last 90 days. quick one there, guys, to show that there is a bit of a discrepancy and a bit of a difference in the categories that they specify in events on Zwift and what they use to enforce categories through the calculation of your ZFTP and your ZMAP. For some people, it might be the ZMAP that keeps them up into the next category. It only has to be one of either the ZMAP or the ZFTP. In my case, it looks like it's going to be the ZFTP when it eventually comes, and I'll go and struggle at the back of Cat B, but for the time being I will enjoy my final races as a Cat C rider on Zwift. So I appreciate your time, guys. If you enjoyed this, if you thought it was useful, please give it a like, give it a comment, and if you want to be kept up to date on any new videos, then please subscribe, and I'll see you soon.